Hello students, in today's class we will start switch case, that is a part of conditional constructs in Java. In last class we have done if else. Now what is the use of switch case? As it is a part of conditional construct, it does the same thing as if else statement. That is, it is used to choose from many alternatives. It also checks for a condition. Now when we are having multiple options to choose from, that time we will use a switch case statement. The same thing we can do using if else statement also. But if your problem becomes longer, if your program becomes longer, and if you are using if else statement, then it becomes a little bit complex for us. So in that case we will use switch case. As you can see, the switch case statement allows us to choose one from many alternatives based on an integer, character, or string value. Now from here what we can see, a switch case statement works with integer, character, or string value, but it cannot work with any floating point value, neither float nor double. It cannot work with decimal numbers that are having decimal points. Next, the syntax of switch case. The syntax is switch is a keyword, so write switch, S in small letter, switch in bracket, expression or value. Then start the braces. From here the switch block starts. Then case is again a keyword. After case we have to write a value, that's why it is written here constant 1. Then inside this case statement, whatever things we need to evaluate, the statement inside then this case constant will be evaluated. Now which case will be evaluated depends on the value that we are getting from this switch expression or switch value. Whatever value we are getting from here, based on that one of the cases will be evaluated, and inside these cases we may have the statements. One or more statements can be there inside the cases. So case constant 1, then you give the statements, then break. Then comes case constant 2. Again inside case constant 2 you can have statements and then put a break. In this way the cases will continue up to n number of cases. And the last one will be a default. Why default? If none of the cases match when we are executing or when we are evaluating the switch expression, if none of the case values matches, that time the default option will be executed. This default is optional. You all may give, you all may not give. Next is break statement. What is the use of break statement? Now after executing each case, the break statement will take you out of the switch block. This is the use of break statement. After executing one case, it will directly take you out of the switch block, and whatever statements are following after the switch block will be executed. Next, here the keywords are explained. What is a switch? What is the use of switch keyword? What is the use of case keyword? What is the use of default keyword? And what is the use of break keyword, which I have already explained you all. Now let us read it. The switch keyword is followed by a parenthesized integer expression or character value or string value, which is followed by the cases, all enclosed within braces. The switch statement executes the case corresponding to the value of the expression. Normally the code in a case ends with a break statement, which exits the switch statement and continues with the statement following the switch. If there is no corresponding case value, that is if the cases does not match, the default clause is executed. If no case matched and there is no default clause, as I said, default clause is optional. You all may write, you all may not write. And in a case when the case's value does not match and there is no default clause also, that time what will happen? The execution continues after the end of the switch statement. Next is case keyword. The case keyword is followed by an integer or character or string constant and then a colon. This begins the statements that are executed when the switch expression has that case value. When the switch expression evaluates a value and when the case value matches with it, then the statements which are written inside the case will be evaluated. Default clause. If no case value matches in the switch expression value, the execution continues at the default clause. Now this is the equivalent of the else for switch statement. It is written after the last case and it may or may not be followed by break, because execution just continues out of the bottom of this, as this is the last clause. After writing the default statement, you all may write break or you all may not write break, because default is the last statement of a switch block. If you are using default statement in your program, then keep in mind that default has to be the last statement in switch block. And after default statement, the execution will automatically go to the statements which are outside the switch block. So in default statement, we may not use a break. Next comes fall through. What is fall through? Now, if a break statement is absent in switch case after the cases, then this fall through situation will occur. In the absence of break statement in the respective cases will cause the flow of control to cascade down and execute all the cases that does not contain break statement until it reaches end of the switch or a case that implements a break. This is called fall through. When we will write the programs, when we will execute the programs, I will explain you all fall through in details, how fall through is happening. Next, difference between if else and switch case. Now when we evaluate if else condition, it results in a boolean type value, that is either true or false. When we evaluate a switch case, it results in a character, string or integer type value. If else performs test on integer or floating point value or character or string. Main thing is if else can perform operations on floating point values, whereas switch case cannot perform operations on floating point values. Next one, if else can perform tasks on relational or logical expressions. If else we can check for a range of the values x greater than 100 and x less than 200. We can check for a range of values by using the relational or logical operators. But in switch case, we can only perform test for equality, as it will only evaluate a value. It will return a constant value. It cannot check for a range of numbers. That's why it cannot use relational or logical expression. Like in switch expression or value, after writing the switch keyword, we cannot write x less than equals to 100. Okay, it will only perform the equality, test for equality. That is, we can write x plus y. Why? Because x will have a value and y will have a value, and when we are adding these two, it will return a constant value. If x is 2, y is 3, and if I write switch in bracket x plus y, that means 2 plus 3, it will return you 5. So it is returning a constant value. It is checking for equality. But in the same thing, we cannot write x less than equals to y. Next difference. In if else statement, there is no default operation, whereas in switch case statement, there is a default case. Next comes the difference between ternary operator and if-else operator. The ternary operator, when we were doing the operators, that time we have done ternary operators, and that is ternary operators works with 3 operands. Yes, that is why it is known as ternary operator or conditional operator. It is also used to check a condition. What is the difference between ternary operator and if-else operator? Ternary operator can return only one value, whereas if-else can have more than one statement in a block. Ternary operator makes the program more concise, whereas if-else consumes much more space, takes more space to write a if-else program. Next, in nested form, ternary operator is more complex, whereas in nested form, if-else is not complex at all. Or you can say it is less complex. So this was all about the conditional constructs in Java. We have done if-else, switch case, and in next day's class, I will explain you all ternary operator in details, that how and we can compare ternary operator with if-else statement. Next, we will do some programs which are based on switch case statements. So let us see those. Now the first program is a program to print the weekday name according to the day number. That is, we are having 7 days in a week. So what it will do, if we enter day number as 1, it will print Monday. If we enter day number as 2, it will print Tuesday. So in this way, we have to print all the 7 days of a week using a switch case statement. So for that, what we have to do, the input that we will take is going to be a day number, because on that particular day number, we are going to get the result as the name of the weekday. So our input is going to be the weekday number. As we write a program, first write down the class name, then public void method name, I will given check, and int c. Int c is going to take the day number, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, in this way. Now switch c. Why switch c? Because based on this day number, we are going to print the day name. So the switch is going to evaluate or give us the day number. Now based on this day number, we are going to make or create our cases. The cases will be based on the day number. If case is 1, it will print Monday, because switch from here is going to return you the day number. We are writing switch C. So switch C will give you a day number. Now based on that day number, you have to create your cases. We know there are 7 days in a week, so how many cases will be there? There will be 7 cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, case 7. Now if somebody enters any other number apart from 1 to 7, then what will happen? If somebody enters a number as 10, there is no week number as 10, weekday number as 10. So in that case, what will happen? It will go to the default clause and it will print invalid day number. Okay. Now this is how you have to write a switch case program. So case 1, what is the statement? What is the work that we need to do when my case is 1, when my day number is 1? We have to print it is Monday. So system.out.println Monday. Break. Then case 2, print Tuesday. Break. Then case 3, Wednesday. In this way, we will continue all the 7 cases. Now let us take the output. So compile. Create the object. Let me give the day number as 5. What it is printing? Friday. Okay. Now let me give the day number as 12. invalid day number because we are not having 12 in a weekday number. So it is giving invalid day number. Why we are getting this invalid day number option or output result why we are getting? Because we have used the default clause. Next, if I remove these break statements from here, then what will happen? I'm removing break from case 2. I'm removing break from case 3. I'm removing break from case 4. Okay. Now let us see what is going to happen. If you compile, it will not give you any syntax error. Now, from where we have removed the cases? From 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Done. Now what will I do? I'll give the case number as 3. What it is printing? Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Why it is printing all these 3 names, though I have given the case number as 3? You see the code, you will understand. So from where I have removed the break statement, I have removed the break statement from 2 onwards. And I am giving the case value as 3. Input I am giving the day number I am giving as 3. So what it will do? It will start executing from this case. Whichever value it will be evaluated here in the switch case, whichever value gets evaluated, that corresponding case will be executed. So here when we are giving the input as 3, that means switch is getting 3. 3 means it will directly jump to case number 3, case 3. And it will print here Wednesday. Okay. After printing this statement, it is not getting any break. That means it will not come out of the switch block. Instead of that, it will stay inside the switch block and it will execute the next case. So what is there in next case? It's Thursday. So it will print Thursday. Now after case 4 also we are not applying any break. That means again it is not getting a point to stop or to come out of the switch block. So what it will do? It will execute the next statement. Next statement what we are having? Case 5. So what it will print? It will print Friday. So for giving one value, one weekday, I gave 3. It is printing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now after executing this case statement, print statement, what it is getting? Now here it is executing a break. So as soon as it gets a break statement, here it gets a point to stop. Okay, so what it will do? It will stop there and it will come out of the switch block. Yes, that is why it is not printing the other cases, that is case 6, case 7. Yeah, this is the use of break statement and this condition is known as fall through. What happens when we are giving the case number as 3? It is not executing a break statement here and all other cases after this case 3 is getting evaluated until a break statement is getting executed. So this condition is known as fall through. It is falling down from one case to the other case, cascading down. That is why it is known as fall through. Okay, our next question is a program to check whether a number is even or odd using a switch case statement. So what we will do? First we will write the class name, then the method name, public void check, and then I have taken the number as input. Now based on this number I will check whether it is even or odd. So next what I have done, I have taken int r equals to n mod 2. Now inside this r I am going to keep the remainder of the division. So if n mod 2 is 0, that means my number is even number. If n mod 2 is not 0, that means it is an odd number. So I have to check whether the number is even or odd. So in switch statement, what I'm passing the remainder r, because based on the value of the remainder I can determine whether my number is even or odd. So switch r. Now what will be the case values? The case values can be either 0 or 1. When we divide a number by 2, we get either 0 or 1 and nothing else. So the case value I have taken as, the first case as 0. So if my case is 0, I'll print even. Break, and I am using a default statement. Means if somebody enters, or if the result is something apart from 0, that means it is odd number. So default system.out.println odd. Now let us compile. Number is 6. Result is even. If I give number is 9, result is odd. Now, when we were seeing the syntax of switch case, what we have seen, after switch we can give a value or expression. Now, instead of writing here r, we can directly write the expression as n mod 2. This is also valid because when we will evaluate this n mod 2, we are going to get a constant value, either 0 or 1. So compile this code and again check. Give 8. Even number. Instead of writing here default, you all can write case 1 also. Case 1 system.out.println odd and then break. Now how you will write the program, it's totally up to you, but it has to be correct. Next one. In our next question, what we are going to do, we are going to perform the operations of a simple calculator. Simple calculator means just addition, subtraction, multiplication. These few operations will be performed. We will perform only on 2 numbers. So like write down the class name, then the method name, and then we have to take the 2 numbers as input. Here I am considering floating point numbers or float numbers. So float A and float B. A and B are the numbers on which we are going to perform the operation. And I have taken a variable as OP, which is of character type. OP is representing the operator, right? Here in the question you can see for plus we are going to, the user is going to enter the operator. If we are entering plus, we will do addition. If we are entering minus, we will do subtraction. So based on the operator, your operations will be done or your task will be done. So for the operator, we have to take it as character type because we are inserting the symbols. We are using the symbols. So character operator. Now inside the switch statement, what value we have to pass? We have to pass this OP because based on the operator, we will be performing the task. So if and what are the operators that we will use? We will use plus, minus, multiplication and division. So our case values will be these operators or the constants that we will use for operators. So case plus, as it is character type, we have to enclose it within single quotation. So single quotation, then plus, we'll give a colon. In system.out.println, result of addition equals to A plus B. Then break. Case minus. System.out.println, result of subtraction A minus B. In this way, we have to write down the other cases. And I have given a default case also. For printing, it is not a valid operator or it is not a valid operation. So let us execute this. Okay. Yes. Now let us give a float value, suppose 2.3 f as it is taking float, and 3.0 f, and here let us give, now when you are giving the input, that time also this character you have to keep inside single quotation. So into, I'll do addition, done, and okay. So if we add 2.3 and 3.0, the result will be 5.3. We have given plus operator, so it is performing addition. If we give minus operator, then it will perform subtraction. Now let us check it for minus. So if I write 4.5 f and 2.0 f, and character is, that is operator is minus. So 4.5 minus 2.0. The result of subtraction is 2.5. So this is how we have to write switch case programs. Next class also I will continue with this conditional constructs only. There you will see few more programs, new type of programs. Okay. So for today's class, let us end it here. And I hope last day's worksheets all of you have done. So thank you for today.